With the release of Moon Knight, followed up by Werewolf by Night, it seems the Marvel world of the supernatural is moving forward, and fans are pretty excited about it. But is there a crisis? We got a new report on Blade, and it appears there is some trouble behind the scenes, and some of the rumors indicate they might not be small problems. It's even cost the production its director. So let's take a couple minutes to dive into Blade, what's going on at Marvel Studios, and what may be driving all of these issues. Now, I have to say, Blade has a really special place in Marvel movie history. It effectively kicked off the modern superhero era back in 1998, and fans have been super excited since we found out Mahershala Ali had been cast and a new era of the Daywalker was upon us. But not all is good in Vampire Land. Marvel Studios' Blade has actually lost its director. Now, if you didn't know who was directing, that would be Bassam Tariq. But he has apparently exited the project with basically no explanation after being attached to direct the film for a year. Now, more interesting is the movie is set to film in November, and this leaves Marvel Studios very little time to scramble and try to get this project moving. Additionally, there are some rumors pointing to his exit that may indicate some problems hanging over the film, including frustration from actors, as well as some alleged lack of focus from leadership at Marvel Studios. With all this uncertainty in the air, there is one obvious question. Will Marvel now have to delay Blade? Now, to be fair, Tariq is not the first director to exit a Marvel Studios film, even well into the pre-production timeline. If you remember correctly, Doctor Strange director Scott Derrickson stepped down before helming the sequel, and this was only 4 months ahead of filming. Subsequently, Sam Raimi took over the project, and this left fans pretty satisfied, but it was a very tense development. Additionally, John Watts, who actually directed the 3 Spider-Man movies, exited Marvel's Fantastic Four reboot over the summer, although to be fair, that project is a lot farther out. Now, we don't have a lot of confirmed details about what's going on behind the scenes, but we did get an interesting report from Jeff Snyder. Now, Snyder is generally a scooper, but he's also a reporter for The Ankler and editor for Below the Line. He also works as a film columnist for LA Magazine, so he is very in tune with what's going on in various Hollywood studios. Now, what he's reporting is, well, kinda scary, and could provide us some details about what's going on behind the scene. Now, he dropped this in a tweet, so let's go ahead and check that out. I'm told the current Blade script is roughly 90 pages and features exactly 2 lackluster action sequences. Mahershala is said to be very frustrated with the process, Feige said to be spread too thin, but hey, this is just what sources are telling me, don't shoot the messenger. Now, there's a lot to take away from this, but remember, first and foremost, this hasn't been confirmed by Marvel Studios, but let's be real, this isn't the kind of news typically a studio shares. 90 pages for a script is kind of short, but it's really not something to be incredibly worried about. I will say the report of 2 lackluster action sequences, though, does get me concerned. If you look at other films like Shang-Chi, there's upwards of 5, sometimes 6 action segments in the process, and for there only to be 2 with a character with a history like Blade is absolutely a big problem. I also am a little concerned about the fact that they're reporting that Feige might be spread a little thin. As many of you know, the first 3 phases of Marvel Studios saw them releasing 2 to 3 films a year. Since we've gone into phase 4, Marvel has jacked that up to 3 to 4 films a year, and then you stack on top of that 3 to 5 television series every year. Kevin Feige has a super full plate, and this could be a big problem, both in the form of management and quality, if his watchful eye isn't looming over some of these projects. Now, none of this is confirmed, but these rumors do drive a couple of interesting thoughts. Up-and-coming directors sometimes don't want to be associated with projects that fail. That could be one reason that Tariq left a project. But there's also the distinct possibility that he was leading the project and he was the problem. This isn't something that's in the report, but typically Marvel's directors have a lot of autonomy, and as a project has moved forward, rather slowly I might say, there has to be someone who's responsible for that, and that could be the reason he left the project without a lot of information. Now, the director did make a statement on his Instagram account about what's going on. It was brief and not really that informative. Let's check it out. Dear friends, it's been a minute. Blade's been a wonderful ride. At this moment, I'm filled with love and gratitude towards the folks at Marvel, as well as the incredible crew and cast we assembled. I'm eager to support and see how the next director builds on the foundation we've set. I'll now be joining the project as an executive producer as I move on to what's next. Once again, this provides us almost no details, except that he's going to remain as an executive producer. How this ultimately impacts the project, we're going to have to wait and see. But we have seen Marvel Studios recover from some of these director issues in the past, but I will say, typically a better project is when a director has his vision fulfilled and sees it all the way through. I think Blade is incredibly important to the future of the MCU, and more importantly, putting a stake in the ground for Marvel horror moving forward. It's pretty clear to many Marvel is working together some sort of supernatural superhero team, and I suspect Blade will be at the center of that project, especially with a casting like Mahershala Ali. Now, we're obviously going to keep following what's going on with Blade. If Marvel is able to recover quickly and find another director, I'm sure it will still be in front of cameras by November. But if not, we might see a delay in the release of the film, but we'll have to wait and see. Obviously, we're covering everything Daywalker on this channel, so make sure you hit that like and subscribe button so you get all of the updates. But until we know more, what do you guys think? How do you feel about Marvel Studios losing Bassam Tariq as director of Blade? And do you believe Kevin Feige could very well be spread too thin with so many projects on his plate? I mean, the guy doesn't have superpowers, it could be totally true. Tell me what you think in the comments below. If you like this video, make sure you hit like, click subscribe, and if you don't ring that bell, you won't get any updates. Peace.